Hi, good evening. This is Arielle Live TV, and tonight we're gonna introduce our new shows coming, and we will be talking about many things, especially coronavirus, health, body conscious, and many things. But tonight I was surprised because I didn't expect that I'm gonna be wearing red, and this our show is like amazing because I'm excited, not just amazing, I'm excited because someone is going to tell us, how to get healthy and how to avoid getting sick or many things. And I want to talk to our doctor here, and the show is going to be Dr. Montana's live shows with Dr. Joe Montana, Doctor's Advice. And I wanted to do her beauty tonight. I know I did talk to her the first time, and tonight I want to welcome Doc. Doc, you look so stunning. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good, thank you.
I love your dress, by the way.
Thank you.
Where'd you buy it?
From my favorite store. But if you want to know the name, it might cost you.
I don't want to do that. I don't have money right now. But amazing. Did we talk to each other? I never know that you're gonna wear red dress tonight.
Oh, red is one of my favorite colors.
I know I love dress too. Red.
Yes.
This is like, well, we just came back from a Trump rally last night.
Yes, I heard that.
Yeah.
Yes, I wish I was there too.
I know, huh?
Yes, I
This
would
is
love to
Trump.
be there.
And it's amazing. After that, we went to eat, and guess what? I wear this pants. It's like a flag, and then Stanley come up with me. Come here. You have a sister here. I put this and wear this red flag.
Oh.
Everybody wants to know where I buy it, so I did tell them. But anyway, how are you tonight? Are you excited to your show?
Of course I am.
Oh my God! Behind the scene, we've been talking. You have so many guests coming up.
Oh yes, yes, a lot of them. And I've been talking to them, and they're excited to come. And I'll be scheduling them. I've done okay. I'll let you know. But I know the people watching will be so interested to know more about how to stay beautiful and how to stay healthy. There are a lot of things really that we need to know in our life.
How did you stay beautiful and sexy, Doc? I'm so embarrassed. Oh my God, I have to cover my thingy.
Well, one of the things, of course, I control what I eat. It's very important. So they say you are what you eat. My mother always says that. So I'm always conscious of what I eat, and these days I'm just eating organic food, and that's what I always tell my patients, that if you want to eat vegetables and fruits, it has to be organic.
Organic, but a lot of people are talking about that. They said organic is not real.
Of course it's real. And they have to be certified.
How could you say that they can actually called organic, and how could you tell?
Well, one of the things that I've learned is that you can soak your fruit in vinegar, put a little vinegar or make it alkaline, and you will see all the oil will come out. It's actually the pesticides and the chemicals that they're putting on the fruit. I've seen that in tomatoes.
Now, how about vegetables?
Vegetables, the same thing. So, but also, you can see that when you go to the supermarket, they have the signs that it is really organic, and I really prefer that because they don't use chemicals.
Costly?
It's not much. How much of the difference? About maybe 50 cents or 30 cents difference. But when you get sick, you spend more. So why do you want to spend more getting sick when you can spend a little bit for your food that will make you beautiful and become healthy? That's important.
Wow. I like that. I think you make a point there. You're absolutely right, because if we really want to protect ourselves, our body, why not take care of our body? Because this is only one body, and everything, as you said, whatever you put in your body, and that's what you choose with.
Yes, so true.
That's why my brother are sick right now because of that. But anyway, Doc, tell me about it. We've been talking about the coronavirus. That's going on. Can you please tell us how are we going to avoid to catch coronavirus? Are they in the U.S. now?
Oh yes, they are. We know that. There are about how many? About 35 cases now, I heard. I saw in the papers that there are 35 cases right now in the United States. And the CDC are already telling all the hospitals to be ready for the possible pandemic that will affect, that are now affecting most of the countries right now. So it's very important that we know what to do, and that happens. As we know that in mainland China, there are already 2,345 deaths among those who are 76,000 and more cases in China. Hong Kong has 69, Macau has 10, and Japan has 754 cases right now. The main thing is that the cases that we found, some of them may have no symptoms. And you know that they were saying that they're putting the patients on incubation of 14 days, but maybe they need to put the patients on more days, like 21 days.
Because what do you think is 21 days, though?
Is
there any difference of 14 days to 21 days?
Oh,
Why
yes,
it's more
of
21
course, because in Japan, they actually released one lady that was negative and was in incubation for 14 days.
Mm-hmm.
But after a few days, became positive with the virus.
Wow.
And she didn't have any symptoms at all in the beginning. So you'll never know who really is next to you actually has a symptom. So the most important thing is really to protect yourself. You know, it's very, very important that you know what to do.
So how are we going to protect ourselves? Do you think so that we have to avoid going to many places that crowded, many people, or maybe stay at homes, or I don't know. What about the casinos? That's so many people out there all the time.
Of course, yeah. We're not supposed to go to places where there are a lot of people that may be infected, you know. You can never know, but the most important thing is I think there is hope because the hospitals, they reported some 15,000 that were discharged in China and they became well. So that's good news. So whether or not this news are true or not, it's important that we should protect ourselves. So they said, wash your hands all the time, wear a mask. But even the mask, they were saying that maybe the organism or the virus may even be smaller than the mask that we're using. But the most important thing is that you have to improve your immunity. So how do you do this?
How do we do that, though?
We discussed this last week, but I would like to say it again because I think it's very, very important. Number one, you must take vitamin C every day. For adults, I am advising 2,000 milligrams a day. For children, 500 milligrams a day. And you have to sleep at least 8 to 10 hours a day.
Wow, that's impossible to do.
Well, you can if you really want to stay healthy, right? And of course, even I always say no stress. You cannot stress out yourself. That will bring down your immunity. And if you remember, we talked about a patient of my son who's an oncologist who had actually lymphoma, but actually died of a pseudo cardiomyopathy. The heart became so big all of a sudden. And the reason was stress.
Really?
So she died from stress.
So we have to avoid the stress. We have to avoid gossip, probably, because that's part also of the stress, right?
Yes.
Stress and what? Not to be angry and not to be
Yes, I cannot get angry. That's why I always say do not get angry. You cannot get angry. That lowers down your immunity. Yeah.
What about if someone deeply hurt you? Is there anything that we can avoid that, not to become angry?
You know, there's such a thing as a mindset, right? What did they say? The mindset, what you don't mind will not affect you. So even if you think that you got hurt, just forget about that and say, okay, I don't mind.
No wonder you're such a beautiful faces out there. It's like you look very young. I think, you know.
Well, it's important, you know, as I said, the food that you eat. And you also have to choose your friends. Because if you're someone who's always angry, then you'll also become like
Yeah.
that.
You know what? I heard about that too. Well, not I heard, and I know for a fact that if you choose your right friends, that always positive and not negative, it lift you up.
Oh, yes,
You
that's
know,
very, very true.
it's you forget the problem because you have a positive person.
Yes.
Like you, Doc. You're very positive, and I'm happy to produce these shows with my team because first of all, this is can be watched 152 countries, livestreamers.com, and some of your social media. You're gonna have your YouTube channel. You're gonna have your Facebook channel, and also live streamer, and you can invite a lot of people from other country that you don't need to be there unless otherwise they want us to be there.
Oh, yes.
So that's the beauty about it. So now a lot of people are actually watching us right now, and of course if they have question to you, this is Dr. Joe Montana's doctor's advice, and I believe they need to hear from you, Doc. You're the most important to the show today.
Well, that's good. That's good to know, but you are important too, I must say. I mean, you're the producer of the show, and you had your show for a long time, and that's good to know.
Yes, and of course, if we have a team, I'm happy that I brought the whole team. These shows is not gonna happen if the team is not here.
Absolutely.
So now we have the director, producer, shot director, we have a line producer,
yes.
Stanley, and now your sister.
It's teamwork.
And that is the engineer of the live streamers. So he's watching right now, and he's sick.
Oh.
So what can you advise to him right now, Doc? He is sick. He has. I told him I think you catch up the coronavirus. I just joke about it because
I hope not.
what is the symptoms of the coronavirus? What's the symptom?
It's like a upper respiratory tract infection. Like, you get a runny nose, and then it goes down to the throat, and it goes coughing, and you start coughing. So that's why one of the advice that I read in my studies is that you do not keep your throat dry. You have to be drinking water. You have to hydrate yourself. And so because once this virus gets into the lung, that's where it becomes bad. So you don't want that to get in there. So even at the start, you have to already improve your immunity. And one of the things also that I suggest to my patients is, take colostrum.
Colostrum.
Do you
Why
know?
colostrum?
Okay, colostrum is it is from the breast milk. On the first 2 weeks of once the mother delivers the baby, first 2 weeks of life, we always advise mothers to breastfeed their children because the breast milk, you have the colostrum. It's a thick yellow fluid that comes out from the breast. And it is filled with immunoglobulins. Immunoglobulin A, immunoglobulin G, and an M. And these are the immunoglobulins that increases your immunity. Why do you want the babies to have that? Because they are born without any immunity. So when they take that from the mother, then they get the immunity. And then by the time they're 6 months, they develop their own immunity. So it's important that when you're sick, so I advise you, Dennis is his name, yeah? Take some colostrum. And even if my patients, right, I give my patients antibiotic, I will always tell them also, take some colostrum because that will help.
Is that a prescription or?
No, you can always buy it in Amazon. You can always buy it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Or you can buy it, in any health food store, I must say.
Yeah. Oh, they have it also in
Oh, yes,
store.
yes,
Okay.
yes. But you have to choose,
I think that's a good idea, Doc. So if I get sick, so I must take that first. Right?
Even if you're not sick, like I am taking it every day.
Really?
Like I take at least 2 capsules a day of 800 milligrams. If you're sick, you have to take at least 4, and right away it will go away. And really, in my experience, you will not get sick if you're taking it regularly, because that will help you a lot. And of course, aside from that, you must not stress yourself. Again, you sleep, Do not get angry. Those things. Those are very, very important for your immunity.
That this is the beauty about of Dr. Jo Montana's doctor's advice. We can get a lot of things from her, and we have to take advantage. And she will have a regular show every week. So that's we're gonna be discussing about the time so that people can actually start, you know, watch it wherever you're at. Her show can be watched on your smart TV, smartphone, computer, laptop, anywhere around the world. So if you guys want to watch her shows, that's the best thing that you can do is just, hey, share it to your people because if you don't have any health insurance or you cannot go to the hospital right away or the clinic, there's our doctor's advice by Dr. Joe Montana. So that's the best thing then that other people are getting sickness all the time that they must to take colostrum.
I must say that. I mean, those are the things. There are other herbal medications, that are available as well, but some of them are not really that much studied. But colostrum is, and that's the reason why we're asking mothers to give their breast milk on the first 2 weeks. So when we can take that, we can take that in capsule form, and you can take it. Another thing I want to say before I forget is that when you take an antibiotic, it's very important for you to take probiotics. Remember, antibiotics kills your good bacteria, and it can take 2 years before you can again have good bacteria in your stomach, in your gut. So you have to take probiotics. And also not just the probiotics, you want probiotics with prosymbiotic, the food for your probiotics. So I always advise those patients of mine who can afford to buy this, it would be good to take probiotics together with your antibiotics. That's one of the things that I think you should do,
Well, as a doctor's advice, and I'm learning a lot today. I myself, I will like, wow, okay, when I go home or tomorrow, I can pick up some colostrum in a, health store or Walgreens.
Oh, remember, whenever you buy all these things, you have to choose the ones that are really good.
What is
Because,
the good one though?
no, because there's some probiotics that's only like a few millions. No, you want billions one, like 30, you want the one that has a lot of these cultures. Because, you want as much as you can from the probiotics. So don't just buy any probiotics, So there's a lot.
Billions.
Yeah,
Billions.
because there's a lot of, yes, about 30 billions or something. That's a good one. Yeah, that's the one that you should take, not just the one a small amount. Like even, for example, studies have shown even for, let's say, the fish oil, right? They did check all the fish oil that are in the market. Mm-hmm. None of them really are commensurate to the one that is really necessary for you to protect yourself from cholesterol. So there's a lot of things, so what is important really is you protect yourself, eat right, you have to have a balanced diet, do not eat too much carb, because that's where you get diabetes. So those people who have diabetes, I say not more than 25 grams a day.
What about high cholesterol, Doc? I have that. Okay. I stopped drinking my meds lately, mm-hmm. But when I feel like something, then I drink it again.
Oh, it's better you go. If diet is more important than anything, unless you have a genetic problem of having those who have genetic problems. Some people, it's in their blood, it's in their genes that they have high cholesterol. So that you have to take medication. But if it's something that you can just do with diet, it's better just do with diet, because when you eat a lot, when you eat a lot of carbohydrate, mm-hmm. you eat a lot of protein, mm-hmm. all of this becomes fat. Did you know that? So, important.
Wow.
Don't eat too much of all these things. Have a balanced diet. That's what you need. And our bodies are not even made to eat so much meat or proteins, because even our teeth, we don't have the canines that the animals like the tigers or the lions have. You know, we're not made for that. But people like to eat a lot of steaks, but a lot of proteins becomes fat. That's in the food pathway. So you have to know that, you know. So I always tell my patient, and plus, of course, not only that, those who have a little bit of problem with high blood pressure, the protein can come up in the urine, and that's bad.
Wow, I'm learning. I think I'm gonna give her 2 hour shows. Anybody? I think I think we need to have 2 hour shows for Dr. Joe Montana to have the doctor's advice. I mean, it's so many things that we can actually learn from her today, and it is amazing. This is good for everyone. Doc, do we have to talk about everything, or why? I mean, it's the health is everybody are health conscious.
Yes.
Very, very, men and women. I myself, I used to be little one. I used to wear 4, and now I think 5, medium, 6 sometimes. It's different.
Yeah. Yes, that's why it's very important. You know, again, I'm saying again, your diet, you know, because that's how you will maintain your weight. And when you maintain your weight, also your health. Because a lot of the diseases, like diabetes and hypertension, they're from where? When you gain too much weight, too much fat. We're eating too much. America is eating too much. So we really have to control ourselves in eating, and eating the right food. As I said, eat organic food. I must say that is so important.
You mentioned, Doc, America is eating a lot of foods. You're right about that, because what is the country that more obese?
Well, I must say America.
America.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? The one we there's a graph. You know, if you Google it, you will look at the whole map of America, right? And then you will see the one that's like the least one is Colorado. Why? Because people there are health conscious. People there are walking a lot.
Colorado.
You know? Colorado. Yes. And California, but the most highest, the East Coast. New York, number 1. A lot
well,
of
you used to live
people
there, Doc, right?
Oh,
because
yes.
you have also
because
license there.
Because I always tell my patient, I always caution my patients also about soda. Because, for example, the soda contains about 10 to 12 teaspoons of sugar. So already that, you know, and so most of my patients will come back to me and say, Doc, I don't drink soda anymore. I'm drinking, but they're drinking orange juice. But still, the orange juice contains a lot of sugar too. So if ever, I always tell my patient, okay, if you really need to have orange juice, it's fine. Maybe half a cup instead of the whole cup. That's what you should do. And our bananas here are so huge, right? It also contains a lot of carbohydrates. Don't get me wrong, bananas are very good. It calms you down too. That's one of the advices of people that, you know, if you're a little bit tense or something, banana is good for you.
But banana is good for us, Doc? I didn't know that.
Banana is okay, but it contains a lot of sugar. So you want to eat half. You know, because our bananas here are so huge, right? So you don't want to eat too much.
Yes.
And of course, again, you have to make sure that you don't have kidney problems, because you can have high potassium if you eat a lot of bananas. So there are a lot of things, you know, to know about food. But most importantly, again, I'm saying eat a balanced diet.
Like how much in the morning, what the family should eat, especially children?
Fruits. You can have some oatmeal. Yes.
But
not, well, you don't want to eat a lot of food that are like fast food, you know, like the 1 minute, 2 minute, you know, it's better to eat the one that's like the oats that are, you know, the old fashioned oats, because it's less,
sugar,
you know, less chemicals. Yeah. You don't want to eat a lot of preservatives, and, you know, so that's what I always read. Because if you read, there's a lot of food that have a lot of chemicals.
How about lunchtime?
Lunchtime. Again,
Yeah.
fresh food.
Fresh.
We have to eat fresh food because I know they a lot of mothers would just make sandwich hot dogs, right? It's a lot easy to make, or salami and all that. But it's not good for your health, especially those that contains a lot of preservatives. I will say, if they have to eat it, okay. If they want to eat it once in a while, but if you really want to keep healthy, have healthy food at home.
How about on dinner time?
Dinner time again. On dinner time, you do not eat a lot. You can have some, I always like to have cauliflower rice instead of the regular rice because it tastes like rice, but it has less carb. And zucchini is good. Zucchini is only a medium-sized zucchini has about 6 grams of sugar, and it's good. So zucchini is good too. So you want to eat a little bit, again, balanced diet. Yeah, that's the most important thing.
No wonder your figure is still intact, like a young body.
Oh, yes, diet,
And that's the reason why
exercise
also,
too.
yeah.
And walk, should walk. It's been advised at least 30 minutes of exercise a day. That is the
Well, what do you
advice.
think? I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave Dr. John Montana for a while, and now she will be having her own shows. And today I just want to introduce her. So stay tuned to all the viewers out there. This is Dr. Montana live shows, and of course, Dr. John Montana Doctor's Advice. So you guys have a chance to also send a comment, and she will have her show at YouTube also, um, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Number one is livestreamers.com. So wherever you guys at, if you don't have any YouTube, just go livestreamers.com and click Dr. Montana's live shows. So we will be right back. I'm gonna go for a break, so we'll bring back our doctors, and tonight, enjoy.
okay, it was going to cost 50, it was going to cost 5, it was going to cost 50, then it was going to, what was the final number, 500? The number was, the number that they spent $5 billion, right? It ended up, it still doesn't work. They spent $5 billion, right? And they spent $500 billion on all the problems it caused. And we've really straightened it out. But it's still lousy health care, Obamacare. And it's really not Obamacare anymore, because when you get rid of the individual mandate, it's no longer Obamacare. But we're going to terminate it. We're going to give you your pre-existing 100, otherwise I won't do it. We're going to give you brand new pre-existing, and we're going to have a great health care that's much less expensive.
What I talked about earlier about the coronavirus. Again, as I was saying, there's hope. The most important thing is we have to improve our immunity. So important to take your vitamin C, 2,000 milligrams for adult per day, at least 2,000. You know, Dr. Pauling advised that you can take up to 4,000. But I would say 2,000 will be okay. And of course, 500 milligrams for children. You have to sleep at least 8 to 10 hours a day, no stress, and do not get angry. It's so important about our emotions, because it can affect our immunity. So we know also that a virus is being developed right now, or had been developed. They said they did it in 3 hours in San Diego. They took the DNA and studied it and made a virus vaccine against coronavirus. So they say that they have already tried it with the rats and with the mice, but they still have to try it among humans. Hopefully, it will be ready by April, and it will be available to the public by May. And I know most of you do not like to have vaccines. A lot are refusing because of possible side effects. But then again, in medicine, nothing is 100%. So there may be some possible complications, but usually it's really the likelihood of getting complications is very small. It will actually protect you. It will actually protect us. So most importantly, again, is our immunity. Improve our immunity. Take good food, take organic food, healthy foods, and we discussed already those how to prepare, especially for your children, a lot how to make them healthy, not to make them obese. As you know, it starts when they are young. Even at a young age, their hemoglobin A1C over testing for diabetes can be already high because they're already obese even at a young age. So avoid fried foods, avoid too much carbs, and you'll see that we can have a better, healthy America. So for now, and I thank you again for watching our show, and thank you so much for watching us and being with us. And I hope, stay tuned next week. I will be inviting an expert, especially on health beauty. She's already scheduled to come and join us. And even those who have some sexual problems, she may be able to help us. Help you, I must say. So here, we'll see you again. And again, I thank you. Please like us in Facebook. Please share our show, because I know that many will be benefited from this show. Many will know more about health. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to write me or put your comments, please. Well, of course, I'd like only good comments if you can. That would be nice. So, any questions? I would be glad to help you. I'm here for you. This is Dr. Montana. Again, doctor's advice. Thank you.
Girl, that's explosive.